Hello and welcome to our workout video. We're going to show you all ways to exercise different muscles in your body. Our first warm-up stretch is one in your neck, the platysma. So just move your head up and down and up and down. When Miss Dalla gives you homework.
When Miss Dalla gives you tests.
When Miss Dalla assigns a project. Haha, just kidding. Haha. The platysma is a superficial muscle that overlaps the sternocleidomastoid. It is a broad sheet arising from the fascia covering the upper parts of the pectoralis major and deltoid. Its fibers cross the clavicle and proceed obliquely upward and medially along the side of the neck. This stretch works on the muscle because it forces contraction and release. It is a flexion when you bring your head down and extension when you bring it back up straight. It is also an extension when you bring your head backwards. Okay, so just keep moving your neck in that motion. Okay, so since this is a warm-up stretch, there's no set number or how many you should be doing, so just keep going until you feel ready. The masseter and temporalis muscles are the antagonist muscles of the platysma muscle. The vastus lateralis muscle is located on the side of the thigh. This muscle is the largest of the quadricep group. Great trochanter is the origin of the muscle. The insertion is the lateral base, border of the patella, and lateral side of quadriceps femoris tendon. Its origin is the great trochanter, and the insertion is the lateral base, which is on the border of the patella and lateral side of the quadriceps femoris tendon. The antagonist muscles of the vastus lateralis are the hamstrings. One example of the hamstring muscles is the bicep femoris. The synergistic muscle are the quadriceps, one being the vastus medialis. The action extends the tibia. This angle works to force contraction of the muscle by bending the knee at a 90-degree angle when you do your side lunges. So for this stretch, we're doing 4 sets of 5 on each leg. This stretch works on the vastus lateralis because the side lunge forces contraction of the side muscle of your leg since you need to balance to keep strength. Because most of your weight is forced on one leg, this helps strengthen the muscle.
These muscles are located on the back of your thighs. It is a double-headed muscle that is important for knee flexion, internal and external rotation, and hip extension. Because the muscle assists with movement, it attaches to the pelvic joint and the knee joint. The long head of the muscle originates at the back of the ischium, and the short head originates at the femur. Its insertion is at the head of the fibula and tibia. The synergistic muscles of the bicep femoris are the hamstring muscles, which are the semitendinosus and the semimembranosus. The antagonist muscles is the quadriceps femoris muscle. This next exercise is called the nature body. Like the previous exercise, have your legs shoulder width apart and have your hands out like Frankenstein. If you're used to squatting to take a dump, this exercise will be a piece of cake. Bend your knees 90 degrees while keeping your back straight. When you reach 90 degrees, come back to a standing position. This next exercise will help you turn that 1-pack you got over the winter season into that flat 6-pack. We call this the rolling a big beep meatball. You want to start off by positioning yourself into a plank position. Put your legs on top of a yoga ball and have your knees at the end of the ball. Now bring your knees towards your chest while keeping your back straight. This works out your rectus abdominis, also known as your abs. It is a pair of long, flat muscles that extend vertically along the entire length of the abdomen adjacent to the umbilicus. Each muscle consists of a string of 4 fleshy muscular bodies connected by narrow bands of tendon, which give it a lumpy appearance when it is tensed. The origin is the pubic crest and the pubic symphysis. The insertions are the 5th, 6th, and 7th costal cartilages, medial inferior costal cartilages, and the posterior aspect of the xiphoid. The antagonist muscles are the erector spinae muscles, and the synergist muscles are the external and internal obliques. The rectus abdominis flexes the trunk, aids in forced expiration, and raises intra-abdominal pressure. This exercise works because it pulls the ribs closer to the pelvis, which forces muscle contraction.
Next stretch is the brachioradialis exercise, which is a partner arm resistant twist.
The brachioradialis is a muscle that is located in the forearm. The function of the brachioradialis is to assist pronation and supination of the forearm at the elbow, which allows the forearm and the hand to face up or down. The origin of the brachioradialis is the lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus. From the humerus, it inserts into the distal radius at the radiostyloid process. It shares the radial nerve with the tricep anconeus and extension carpi radialis longus muscle. The two synergistic is the brachialis and bicep brachii. One antagonist is the tricep brachii. Next, we are going to work on our brachialis. The exercise that we're going to be doing is the water bottle lift. In this exercise, the brachialis is doing extension and flexion. We are performing extension as we lower the bottle towards the lower extremity, and we are performing flexion as we lift the bottle up towards the shoulder. As we're doing the water bottle lift, we are working out our brachioradialis because muscles help to perform supination. The location of the brachialis is in the upper arm and it lies beneath the bicep muscle. The muscle appears doubled, and the primary action is to flex the forearm muscles at the elbow. The origin and insertion is at the humerus and ulna. Two synergistic is the brachioradialis and bicep brachii. One antagonist is the tricep brachii. The joint is at the hinge flexion.
Moving on to one of the harder exercises, we will be demonstrating pull-ups to work out the large triangularly shaped back muscle known as the latissimus dorsi or the lat. It is located superficially on the lower back, covering the lower tip of the scapula and attaches to the humerus. The origins are the spinous process of the T7 to L5 vertebrae, iliac crest of the sacrum, thoracolumbar fascia, inferior angle of the scapula, and lower 3 or 4 ribs. The insertion is the floor of the intertubercular groove of the humerus. The primary functions are abduction of the arm at the shoulder, extension of the arm at the shoulder, and internal rotation of the arm at the shoulder. The synergist muscles of the lat are the teres major and the pectoralis major. The antagonist muscle is any muscle that interferes with adduction, medial rotation, and extension of the humerus. You want to start off with grabbing onto the middle of the bar with your fingers facing your body. Then bring your body back down until you make a 90-degree angle with your arms in. This exercise works because you are forcing contraction by adding your whole body weight. We have finally come to the end of this video and this project. We hope you learned something because this video was a pain in the butt to do. Goodbye and have a good life.